People are boarding up as Dorian makes its way north. We have the latest on the hurricane some experts are calling inconsistent.
Well, there's Hurricane Dorian. It's about 100 miles off the Florida coast, and it's not moving very fast. So I'll give you the latest forecast track and what areas are under hurricane warnings.
This futuristic bus may one day come to Riverfront Park. It's part of a pilot program city leaders hope to win over. Stunning video from inside Hurricane Dorian. Hurricane hunters captured this video from inside the eye of the storm. At this hour, Dorian continues to batter the Bahamas, bringing a ton of destruction to the area. Forecasters are keeping a close eye as it continues to move north towards Florida. Good evening. It's good to have you here with us. I'm Tim Pham. Mark and Jane are off tonight. All eyes are on the Atlantic. Dorian slammed the Bahamas with wind speeds of up to 185 miles per hour. It weakened just slightly this morning, and it's now a Category 4 hurricane. You may remember last year, Hurricane Florence brought major destruction to the Carolinas. That one was also a Category 4. Well, new video in tonight shows entire neighborhoods flooded. Dorian ripped off roofs, tore down power lines, and overturned cars. Storm surges in some places were raising water levels more than 20 feet above normal. And sadly, we're learning Dorian is being blamed for at least 5 deaths. That number is expected to grow. Forecasters say Florida may be spared from a direct hit, but from Dorian, and it's expected to stay just off the U.S. coast and move further north towards Georgia and the Carolinas. We want to take a live look at Cocoa Beach, Florida right now. You can see the waves. They are getting larger as Dorian gets closer. First responders are warning people to stay away from the shorelines. Meanwhile, many people in Florida are getting ready for the storm. They're boarding up their homes and making sandbags. There's evacuation orders in place for coastal areas in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina.
A lot of these people are experienced with these hurricanes. We aren't. We come here, they say they're going to feed us. We got food, but we just want to make sure the kids can, survive through this and have the right environment. At home with the lights off, we don't know what type of environment that'll be for the kids.
Many people in Florida are moving inland. They're taking shelter at schools, churches, and emergency shelters. Dorian's been making a very slow move across the Bahamas, bringing a relentless amount of rain and destructive winds. Get this, at one point it was moving at just 1 mile per hour earlier today. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is tracking Dorian. And Thomas, you've kept us informed all week, and can you explain why it's traveling so slow?
Yeah, and this storm is, first of all, the 5th Category 5 storm in just the last 4 years in the Atlantic Ocean. And right now it's being considered stationary, which is horrible news, especially for this northwestern Bahama island with winds of about 140 miles per hour. That's basically 140 miles per hour of winds hour after hour, just causing more and more destruction. Okay, as to why it's moving so slow right now, it's actually starting to make that pivot to the north, meaning it's not going to just go straight to the east or straight to the west and slam into Florida. This high pressure area helps to steer what direction it's moving. And when this moves farther to the east, the winds start to push it a bit more northerly as opposed to westerly. So yeah, it may spare a direct hit to Florida, but obviously not good news for the Bahamas right now. This is the latest track. It keeps it just off the coast of the U.S., but that does mean there's going to be a lot of storm surge that basically batters the coast from West Palm Beach all the way through the coasts of Georgia and South Carolina as well. So dangerous storm surge is certainly the highlight here and the key message with Hurricane Dorian for the United States. So they're in the red hurricane warnings and the pink hurricane watches, which extend all the way up into South Carolina as of this hour. Tim?
Thomas, thank you. Well, here are a few more vantage points of Dorian. On the left, you can see this is what it looks like from inside the storm. Hurricane hunters are responsible for flying into the hurricane to collect data, and this information is critical. It helps researchers find out more about wind speeds and predict which way the hurricane is moving. You're also seeing just how massive Dorian is, even from space. This was taken from the International Space Station, which orbits about 250 miles above Earth. Well, we are tracking every angle of Dorian. Our storm tracker team is watching this hurricane around the clock for you. As soon as Dorian moves further north, we'll let you know. In the meantime, you can follow the latest developments on our website, KREM.com, as well as inside the KREM 2 app. Well, we want to get you to our other big story tonight that we're following. A search rescue is underway after a fire broke out on a boat off the coast of California. Here's what we know. At least 8 bodies have been recovered, but at least 24 are still missing at this hour. The 75-foot boat carried dozens of people on a Labor Day trip when it caught fire. Passengers who were sleeping below the deck are primarily the ones still missing. The trip was scheduled to wrap up this evening. Investigators still don't know what caused the fire. Well, it looks like there are still tons of people pigging out in the park tonight. Things wrap up tonight at 10 o'clock. And while the event is coming to an end this year, there may be a new type of attraction to look out for around Riverfront Park. As KREM 2's Brandon Jones found out, Spokane could be in line for an autonomous bus that would run off sustainable energy.
A self-driving shuttle bus might be roaming the streets near Riverfront Park soon. City officials entered Spokane into a challenge presented by a company called Local Motors. The company is looking for places in the Pacific Northwest to bring the smart bus, and the vehicle has futuristic features. It's called Ollie, and it can fit up to 8 people into its box-sized dimensions. It's fully run on electricity and goes up to 25 miles per hour. That shuttle bus would be a pretty cool addition to events like Pig Out in the Park. Just being out here right now makes it easy to imagine people hopping in and out of the bus going up and down the street. On top of the bus is technology called LiDAR. It's a detection system that uses lasers to determine its surroundings. That's how the bus is able to operate without a human driving it. To ensure safety, it has a controller that monitors activity at all times. The bus has already made appearances in larger cities like LA, Chicago, and Las Vegas. Spokane's entry into the challenge will be evaluated by a panel of judges through Local Motors, and they will ultimately decide which city the bus will go to. At Riverfront Park, Brandon Jones, KREM 2 News.
Well, speaking of Pig Out in the Park, we could not have asked for more perfect weather for Labor Day. A great way to end the weekend. And we want to check in with meteorologist Thomas Patrick again. Thomas, how long are these warm conditions going to stick around?
Yeah, the first week of September offering up plenty warm weather for us, though today absolutely perfect for a Labor Day afternoon with high temperatures just topping out in the low 80s in Spokane. In fact, that's the current right now, 82 in Spokane, just 77 in Moscow, one of the cooler places as of today. So heading over the next 12 hours, slipping back into the 60s and even 50s after midnight. So I'm really enjoying these cool nights, keeping the windows open, just perfect for September weather, but not out of the woods in terms of the heat just yet. In fact, the first half of this week, still looking at high temperatures topping 90 degrees in a few locations. That changes for the second half of the week as we start to introduce more showers and potentially thunderstorms in the area. In fact, our latest computer models maybe as high as an inch of rain over the next 7 days. So this starting to mark the change away from the dry season, which of course is the summertime for us, back into some more rain and storm chances. And I'll detail that day by day as to which days have the best chances for rain in that week ahead, all coming up in a few minutes.
Thomas, thank you. Loon Lake School District is pushing back its first day of classes. The school will now start on Wednesday, September 4th. So this is actually happening because of flooding in classrooms. According to district leaders, meetings between teachers and parents for kindergartners scheduled for tomorrow are still happening as planned. Well, as many students are heading back to school tomorrow, Spokane police are reminding drivers to slow down. Officers are telling drivers to be aware of speed limits at posted school zones. And there are also several red light cameras installed all over the city, and some of them are listed there on your screen. SPD officers say drivers should always obey posted speed limit zones. Well, take a look at these photos. All these siblings' kindergarten photos at the same school several years apart. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez talked to the mom of these kids about how much Athol Elementary has changed over the years, especially with the addition of this man you're about to meet.
This is Mike Hogan, a retired police officer.
I retired from the New Mexico State Police after 22 years with them.
Turned elementary school guard.
It is awesome. I probably get 100 hugs a day from the kids all throughout the day. It's just amazing.
He's building relationships and keeping kids safe, but he isn't just any security guard.
I am an armed guard at Athol Elementary School, so I do carry a firearm.
Last year was Hogan's first year working at Athol and the Lakeland School District's first armed guard.
It just made a huge difference, and it is a comfort to have somebody that knows how to handle situations.
This mom has seen school safety change over the years.
All my kids have come through the school, so I've been here for 15 years. It's always hard for a mom to drop off their kid at school.
But now she has some peace of mind.
I am here to protect their kids.
Having Hogan has helped so much, the district hired another armed guard to start at Lakeland High School this school year. And they're planning on eventually having a guard at each of their 11 schools in the district.
We really wanted somebody who can stay calm under pressure, make split-second decisions with a lot of knowledge and background to help them do that, and just somebody that was highly trained.
In any situation, my objective is to peacefully bring about resolution.
In Athol, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.